He plants his foot to cut, and the leg folds beneath him like it's made of paper. The knee was perfect, fully healed. His brain simply refused to trust it. The surgery was flawless. The scans were clean. The ligament they rebuilt was, by every measurement, stronger than the one he was born with. So why did a perfectly repaired knee betray him in front of 10,000 people? Stay with me, because the answer isn't in the joint at all. It's in something no scalpel can reach, something you and I fight every single day without knowing its name. By the end, you'll understand exactly why he had to rebuild a signal, long after the surgeon had finished her work. Call him Rurk. Mid-40s, close-cropped hair going gray at the temples, a build like a door, a faded blue sleeve always pulled over his left knee. He'd been a name once, the kind younger athlete studied on film, frame by frame. 2 reconstructions later, most people quietly filed him under was. Not him. They keep telling me the story's over, he said, taping his wrists in an empty corridor, not looking up. Nobody asked me how it actually ends. Some men shout that. He just said it low and kept taping. The woman who rebuilt him, call her Dr. Vance, silver hair, wire-rimmed glasses, steady hands under blue scrubs, showed him the imaging herself. Mechanically, you're finished healing, she told him, tapping the screen. This graft is solid. Structurally, you are cleared to do anything you want. She believed every word. The tissue had knitted in months, exactly as the textbooks promised it would. What the textbooks buried in a footnote, the part that would soon cost him everything, she hadn't thought to mention. At that moment, neither of them knew it existed. Then there was the kid. Early 20s, lean and buzz-cut, all fast-twitch confidence in a black training kit. He'd grown up watching Rurk's highlights on a cracked phone screen, and now he wanted the crown for himself. Respect to the old man, he smirked into a camera, but respect doesn't win. He's a museum piece. This is my time now. The clip went everywhere overnight. Rurk watched it exactly once, said nothing, and set his phone face down on the bench. Some men argue with the noise. Some men just quietly remember it. So he came back. One night, top level, the arena packed and buzzing like a live wire. For 90 seconds he looked like the old Rurk, sharp, certain, terrifying to stand across from. Then came the cut he'd made 1,000 times in his sleep. He planted. He drove off the rebuilt leg, and it simply wasn't there. No pop, no tear, no pain, the knee just didn't answer him. He crumpled onto the mat, whole and healthy and utterly betrayed. The kid's prophecy played out live, in front of everyone, on the leg that looked perfect. In the tunnel afterward, he sat with his head in his hands, sleeve rolled down, drenched through. Nothing was torn. That was the horror of it. A torn thing you can fix. He'd done exactly that twice and clawed his way back both times. This was something else entirely. The bones healed. The grafts healed, he said quietly, staring at the floor. So why won't it fire? Why does my own leg refuse to listen to me? Rebuilding the joint, he was starting to understand, had been the easy part. The hard part didn't even leave a scar. He went back to Dr. Vance. She scanned him again, then twice more, hunting for a failure that simply wasn't in the pictures. Rurk, the joint is pristine, she said, and for the first time she looked genuinely unsettled. Whatever gave out on that mat, it isn't in the image I'm looking at. She was right, and she was also quietly wrong. The failure was completely real. It just lived somewhere her machine could never see, in the wiring between his brain and the muscle, in a single line that had gone dark and stubbornly stayed dark. Pause for a second. Think about the last time your body was ready but something in you just wouldn't fire. The presentation you'd rehearsed cold and your voice locked up. The gym you drove to and then sat in the parking lot outside. The message you wrote and rewrote and never sent. The machinery was fine. The wiring flinched. We all know that traitor moment, when the thing you rebuilt refuses to answer the call. Rurk's was just louder and painfully public. What he learned climbing out of it is the whole reason I'm telling you any of this. Here's the part almost nobody's told. When you reconstruct a ligament, the tissue heals in months. But the nerve pathway, the brain's command to fire that muscle, stays switched off far, far longer. The body, protecting itself, learns to distrust the joint and quietly mutes the signal to it. The graft was never the problem, Vance finally admitted, almost to herself. Your brain stopped trusting the leg. It's guarding you by refusing to let you go all the way. The muscle wasn't weak. It was strong and loyal and simply waiting on a permission that never came. So Rourke made a choice that cost him more than the injury ever had. He pulled out of the season, canceled the comeback tour that was already printed on posters, watched the sponsors go quiet, one polite email at a time, and the kids' clip rack up another 1 million views. No arena, no cameras, no roar to feed on. If the signal's broken, he said, lacing a plain shoe in a plain gym, I don't need a crowd. I need a floor and a wall and about 1,000 mornings. He traded the spotlight for silence and began teaching a nerve how to speak again. This is the part no highlight reel will ever show. 6 a.m., an empty gym, one dim bulb over a rubber mat. Rourke standing on his rebuilt leg, just standing, trying to hold his balance for 30 seconds without the knee going quiet on him. Some mornings he shook like a man twice his age. He'd close his eyes and picture the muscle firing, actually rehearsing in his mind the command his brain had stopped sending. No wait, no crowd, no applause waiting, just a man and a wall, patiently teaching one dark line to light up again. Weeks bled into months, balance on one leg, then a slow, controlled squat, then the smallest hop, catching himself, terrified the knee would go silent midair and drop him again. Some days I want to scream at it, he told Vance, half laughing, half not. It's my own leg, and I'm standing here begging it to believe me. There was no medal for this. No leaderboard, no scoreboard, nobody clapping in the doorway. Just the daily, unglamorous work of proving to his own nervous system that the ground would hold one honest rep at a time, where nobody could see him win. And then on an utterly ordinary morning, it answered. He planted the leg to change direction, hard, sudden, the exact move that had folded him in front of 10,000 people, and the muscle fired. Instant, certain, loud. No hesitation, no flinch, no dark line between the thought and the motion. He didn't celebrate. He just stood in that empty gym, one hand flat on the wall, and let out a single long breath. The signal was back. The thing no scan could see, the thing no scalpel could stitch, had finally, quietly come home to him. Months later, he stepped back onto the top level, same arena, same blinding lights. The kid across from him, now older and suddenly wary. Rourke made the cut. The leg answered without a flicker. He didn't need to win to know he already had. And listen, if you're watching this, grinding through something nobody claps for in rooms nobody sees, this is your tribe. Subscribe and stand shoulder to shoulder with the people who rebuild in the dark. Tell the kid, Rourke said afterward, almost gently, the story was never over. He just couldn't see the part that mattered most. So here's what he handed me and what I'm handing you tonight. Your setback probably healed a while ago. The tissue knit. The scans came back clean. But the signal, the trust, the permission to move at full speed again, that's the part still switched off. And it's the part you have to rebuild alone, in empty rooms, with nobody watching you do it. The next time your rebuilt thing won't fire and you're ready to call yourself finished, remember Rourke on that mat. The body forgives faster than the mind allows. That gap is the entire fight. Real recovery isn't the scar closing over, it's teaching yourself to trust the machine again. One rep no one will ever see. So the next time your rebuilt life won't fire, don't call it broken. Call it waiting on permission. Then give it. Rebuild the signal, not just the joint. If you're grinding through something nobody sees, this one was for you. I'm Cole. Subscribe, a new story like this every evening.